hey, why is your name Chong? Ching Chong, like all that name calling. Why is your eyes like that? Why is this? Why is it smelly? Oh, is this not the norm of saying stuff that I'm used to and I shouldn't say it? And really minimize my words.
Welcome to the Take 1.5 podcast. This is your host, Min Lee.
Hi everyone, I'm Chelsea Chong Kim, aka your favorite homeroom teacher for shy students, an award-winning children's book author. 내 입으로 얘기하기가 좀 부끄러웠지만, and I'm a podcast host and a former middle school math teacher. Carol the Carrot Bowls for the Salad Bowl, and I've been celebrating for its heartwarming message for individuality, teamwork, leadership.
I like your tagline, shy to shine. I could definitely relate to that.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
It took a lifetime to shine.
Takes a long time to shine, just like how you just said. I think I was shy until I was, I believe, high school. It's thanks to my mom, my 엄마. 엄마 이거 들을 것 같은데. My mom was very proud of me, like finding you. 네, 엄마. 엄마 사랑해. I grew up in my neighborhoods where my friends and neighbors were from all different backgrounds. I remember sitting around eating each other's cultural food like giant potluck. Like while our parents were working very long hours. I believe that was our era. I'm born in 92s and we grew up like that together. But as I got older, I started to feel like this pull, like wait, I'm not just an American kid. I'm also Korean. It's kind of strange to say. I didn't realize I was Korean until it hit me. Wait, I'm Korean. And I didn't know what that really meant yet. So I started practicing my own way. And then I started adapting alphabet. 왜냐면 나는 진짜 한국말도 못하고 and I started building Korean friends and speaking bits of Korean with my friends. And it was like I was trying to find my other half of myself. And fast forward to high school, I joined ASB, and that gave me a taste of leadership. But what I really noticed was that there was no Korean club in this high school. And so I thought, why not start one? And I went all out. I started like, you know what, at that time it was Big Bang, Wonder Girls. And I was like, you know what, do a B-boy in the middle of the playground and I'm gonna turn on K-pop music. 진짜 웃겼어요. Nobody knew 한국, like nobody knew Korean. That year, that club was the longest waiting list of all time.
The Korean
Of
club?
that year. Yeah.
Wow.
And starting that club was a turning point of my life. I planned events, collaborating with other student group, and started seeing leadership. Fast forward to when I was a math teacher, they were looking for a director of student body. I created this whole new system. Growing up in LA as a Korean American girl was never just one thing. It was learning to live both cultures, celebrate both sides, and now help the next generation to do the same.
Wow, how does shy kid do all these things? I don't know. But the other thing that I'm surprised by your story, growing up in K-Town, I would think you would be so exposed to Korean culture and the language and the food and everything. It surprises me that there was no Korea club at school
Yes.
first, and then that you did not have any Korean language skills, and it took you to get to middle school to realize, hey, wait a minute, there is Korean all around me, and I am Korean too. What was that
Interesting, right?
moment like? Yeah.
My dad passed away when I was 10 years old. I have to give a shout out to my big brother and my mom. But he was like my father figure. My mom was a father figure. And ever since I was young, they made sure I'm not exposed into any bad influence. But in LA at that time was such a crucial time of bad influence. Like there was so many smoking going on, gang, and a lot of things going on. They make sure not to expose that too much for me. So then I try to stay home as much as I can. That's where I couldn't expose any Korean side of me.
What made you a shy child?
The environment that was created, growing up in LA in Koreatown. All my friends, by the way, they were very diverse. They didn't understand Korean culture. I didn't understand my Korean culture either. When I brought something food to the table, when I spoke the language, the look, the physical appearance, what I was born with. Yeah, I mean, that brought the shy force. Hey, why is your name Chong? Ching Chong, like all that name calling. Why is your eyes like that? Why is this? Why is it smelly? And honestly, that didn't really hurt me until they really repeatedly say that. Oh, is this not the norm of saying stuff that I'm used to and I shouldn't say it? And really minimize my words and covered the one I really wanted to say. And honestly, I really didn't really hurt me in a way where I was like, oh man, I got bullied. It was not that. Because I honestly, for me, this is why I created Carrot the Carrot. She has confidence in herself, but she was kind of shy to express herself. And I was like, no, I think that's not okay to say. So I actually told them, like, hey, that's not okay to say. Another shy moment was my parents, my family. I love them. It's just that I think the educational in our Korean system was like, 아, 공부, 공부 아니면 대학교, 대학교 아니면 job, job, marriage, marriage, baby 이거잖아요. And 눈치도 많이 봐야 되고, and if we don't get into that system, that role of timeline, then you're not normal.
Right.
이런 느낌 났어요. 저한테. This is my opinion. This is my life.
Oh, yeah.
Where I grew up where 이거 아니면 이렇게 안 된다. 이렇게 느낌 나가지고 그래서 I wanted to break that in a way, but I couldn't. Because I love my culture so much. I love my family so much. 괜찮아. 한국 사랑하면 되고 내가 안 좋아하는 거는 말을 안 들어도 돼. 그리고 쿨하게 그냥 받아들이고 내가 좋아하는 거를 그냥 let's move on 된 거예요.
You know, your experience of
Yeah.
this is the face that I was born with. It's almost like we already have a problem. I don't look like the white person with the blonde hair and the 쌍꺼풀 eyes and all these things. So it's like I already have a problem. And then when you're in school, the kids around you, like we enforce that, like by repeating, why is your eyes like that? Your food smell, or why is your name Chong, not Smith? You know, so I understand what you're saying because so many of us, 1.5 generation, second generation, Asian Americans experience that every day, right? As we are growing up, Carol the Carrot have that confidence that shine in you, that boldness in you. It was almost like forced down not to come out.
Right,
So,
right. And I think that was beautiful how you said that because as a teacher, since I did that, I grew up like that, I can teach my students because I saw that, I experienced that. And most of my students who were Korean, who were Asian American, who were different background, who are non-Korean, they experience the same thing and they say that to me. They're like, oh, Mrs. Kim, something happened to me. Or wow, wait, I could help them. This is my job. I finally could help them. And I don't want them to experience this. And now I could finally help them. This is my calling. This was my teaching that I actually learned how to do. And oh my goodness, I was so blessed that I was actually helping them. And the time when I was hiding my rice on the kimchi, like a rice tart, they were doing the same thing. And I thought I was the clever one, and I thought I was the creative one. No, they're doing the same thing. And I was like, just, come to Mrs. Kim's classroom, bring all your friends here. Don't hide your kimchi. Don't hide your whatever your food you're eating. Every Wednesday during lunchtime, I gave them an hour to bring their food with them, just to hang out with me and there were some kids which is very very unfortunate was they eat alone because either their food is smelly or they get bullied or there's kids out there. I wanted to be something for them. And I just wanted to create this natural environment where I don't have to be like, oh, I'm your best friend.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
weird, no? I want to create this natural environment where everyone here becomes friends. And guess what? Everyone became friends. And if I was sick that day on Wednesday, 하필이면 Wednesday 내가 아프잖아요. The next day I come back, they're like, we were sad, your classroom was not open. I was like, oh, and I thought about it. Oh my God, if I can't be sick on Wednesday. So I try my best to eat vitamins, not to be sick on that day.
Chelsea, that's awesome. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Go Chelsea.
Oh, go me, take 1.5.
I mean, that's leadership, like you talked about in your book, and as obviously showing through your life. Yeah, you're shining in your own moment.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, so many of us, even my guests share about their experience, especially in the lunchroom. I actually even talked about this just the other day. It's
Yes.
tough out there for the kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
And
There's
then
so many stories during that lunchtime, right?
you want to provide that shy moment for the children or the people that maybe never had the chance to have safe space. What made you go into teaching?
Oh, I could go hours of my teaching career, but I'll make it super simple. I taught mostly elementary school, and one thing I always say is you don't really master something until you really taught it. When I was a Korean kid as a student, I thought grades really matter. And as a teacher, when I was learning to become a teacher, I thought grades matter because I was taught that grade matter.
Right.
But 연구 많이 했어요. 어떻게 애들 더 재밌게 배울 수 있지? 어떻게 애들을 더 리딩을 더 재밌게 읽을 수 있지? There always had to be a purpose for kids to learn. I wanted to give each an opportunity to give them the stage that they can have and give them my undivided attention. And I wanted to teach my best. And that's what a teacher I wanted to become, the influential teacher that I can give the best of my best. And that's why it took me years to study and get my degree as much as I can and get my years of a teaching experience as much as I can. And then finally create this book that took me a year to create. And then finally just come here just to spread awareness.
How do kids learn? Because we talk about like different smarts, like there's 8 smarts we talk about, right? Some kids learn visually, some kids learn audibly, and some are kinesthetic learners. We talk about all these things. What are some of the best ways we can help kids learn?
Let me give one example. So in my classroom, I gave all my kids come up on the whiteboard and teach the ways that you solve that question. It doesn't matter what steps you learn from me. Just show me like you can be creative, okay? I remember this one student. He randomly brought a 그 food for less newspaper 알아요? And he just cut up all these pieces and he put it on the whiteboard and like he put magnet and he's like, okay, this is how I solve this probability of blah 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 la la la. I'm like, another student brought like a clay model and then they solved that in the math form. Another student brought another genius way to bring another student to do a play, like 연극, like play out of a math problem.
Wow.
It's very amazing. I did this every Friday. I wanted kids to break out of that shell. And I know some kids were very shy to do this because they don't want to go up in the whiteboard. But in the end, we all shouted for them.
So let's now talk about your book.
Oh, yay!
Tell us the title.
It's Carol the Carrot Bowls for the Salad Bowl.
What inspires you to write the story?
I remember asking myself one day if I were to go back to my Heavenly Father again tomorrow, to God, what would I have done everything I was meant to do in this life? And the answer was just hit me. Nothing. I believe, yeah, teaching was one, but I feel like something part of me have to do something more. And that realization opened a floodgate in my heart. I made one of the hardest decisions of my life. I resigned from my position after teaching so many years. And no, I didn't have a solid plan. It was a crazy decision. All I had was a prayer. And in that season of uncertainty, I felt this urge in my spirit to slow down and really reconnect with God and really give self-love. And I went out and bought a new Bible and committed to read 5 chapters a day. And literally, I was just going quiet. After teaching so many years, it's a different type of quiet because you're so used to the white noise of kids like yelling in the background, right? I caught up with my own silence. It was very healing, it was very clarifying, and it was very clear. Literally one day, while sitting at my computer, I got an email, random email. It was asked, will you be interested in becoming a children's book author? It was like God saying, here's the next step. Is this a sketch? Is this like one
Is this
of
a
those
scam?
weird?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, I keep thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe. And I searched it and it was really legit. I was like, okay, let me start on it. I told my husband about this and he was very supportive. He's like, maybe you should do this. Maybe just go for it. I'll support you no matter what. And that's how the whole journey started. And I published this Carol the Carrot Bowls for the Salad Bowl, a story about the shy little carrot who learns that she can lead. And every kid brings something special to the table in this story. And Carol helps them to see that. And that's the story is all about. And you guys can go get this book on Amazon and find out if she makes the team or not. And the publishing process experiences was completely different from the classroom. I had to learn everything from scratch, early morning routines, staying committed to deadlines, pour my heart into every page, hoping that every child somewhere in the world was seen with what they need in this book. But all these things I never imagined if I didn't say yes to that single yes. And I said, maybe I'll take this step.
Autobiographical story, isn't it? It sounds like it.
Yeah, you can say that literally. Because like a lot of my friends, this is very funny. My friends like, 좀 닮았다고. I was
Carol.
like, where do you see the 닮은 거? And they're like, but when I create this book, I think most of my authors will relate to this. Is like whenever you create a story, it goes back to you. It goes
Sure.
back to your culture. It goes back to your story. The characters I created, like Mandy the Mandarin, she's kind of like my self-doubt character. Carol the Carrot is more like 나 할 수 있어. I can do it. Wait, this is me. This is both me. Both moments were me. And then it's funny how you said that because there was one scene, and this is the scene where it talks about the identity. I had to put this in the scene. It's like a little bit of funny scene, but this is when the classmates. I don't know if I'm allowed to. If you want me to read this part,
Sure.
this is my
I
one of my
actually
favorite
bookmarked
scenes.
that page.
Seriously? Oh, I really like this scene. It's because when Tomato was like, "Hey, Carol," Tomato shout, "Why don't you partner with Orange over there? At least you're both orange." The German laughter with laughter. And then this is when Tomato was like making fun of Orange. And Orange was not having. And then Carol the Carrot heard a sound. And she was like, as she walked down the hallway, she heard someone sobbing in the bathroom. She opened the door. Orange, are you okay? Orange shook her head. I had lots of friends at my old school, but not here. Why does everyone make fun of me? Carol didn't know what to say. And I'm not an orange, you know. I'm a mandarin, but no one cares. I care, said Carol. Do you have another name? Mandy the Mandarin. Don't laugh. I won't laugh. I'm Carol the Carrot. They both laughed together, and that made it okay.
Yeah.
So this scene was very, very cute, very wholesome. The reason why I put that character in there is because my name was Chong, and this scene really reminded me because when my non-Korean friends they said like Chong or Chang or Ching Chong, I was like, okay guys, just call me Chelsea or just say it's Chong. They're like, what, Chong, Chang? Or just call it Chelsea. I'm like, okay, fine. It kind of reminded me of that. This also reminds me of when people calls us Chinese and we're not
Right.
really Chinese. They're like, oh, whatever, you're Chinese. You guys all look alike. I'm like, no, we're Korean. That's why I put in this in a children nice way. And that's how I kind of hit that in the children's book. And also, not only us Asian American, it could be in a different cultural way. And I express that through diversity, and I do express that through teamwork. I express that through you can do it, and all these messages is blend in here. But yeah, I liked it. I just did it in a fun way. The message of bowling is like in life, we're always not striking. We can miss. I thought about my students when I created all these characters.
Yep.
And Coach Cucumber is like my teach when I was teaching my students, my perspective as a teacher. And yeah, there's so many for my second book with the same character but with completely different settings. So hope you guys 기대 and
Yeah.
anticipate that.
Yeah, I love it. I actually bookmarked that page for the same reason. And I said, yeah, that's right. I'm not even orange. I'm Mandarin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, see me for who I am. So let's talk about Shy to Shine. It sounds like it's a very important thing for you.
Oh, yes. So think about that one moment you were shy. You were hiding in that closet. You were behind that staircase, behind that jacket, in the under the hood. Or you don't want to sit too front because you may, I don't know, you didn't wash your hair, that you were shy. That's called being shy. That's called being not self-confident. Everyone out there was shy at one point. And this is specifically a time when I was a little kid. I was shy to really express my Korean American identity. I thought being a Korean was something to hide about. And speaking Korean and sharing my kimchi side dish, sharing my cultural food was not the norm. And then I was being shy. I was hiding, right? And I was hiding, and I put the banchan underneath the rice. And 다른 친구들 좀 내가 이제 I want to be in the cool group. But there was a pivotal moment, like I shared to you way earlier, about that shine moment. When was that shine moment?
So, shy, does it mean for you in confidence?
Yes, it means everyone has that seed of identity, seed of courage, seed of leadership, and seed of joy. They can grow out of that. It's a soil. They can grow out of that.
Okay. So, do you coach others to go from shy to shine? You do.
Yeah, I actually do. If you guys are interested, I do motivational speaking. If you want a book on that, I do Shy to Shine movement on that. I do author visits. If you like my book, I also do author visits on schools, events, and do private events as well.
And as you were sharing about your shy moments, I try to think of my own shy moment, but I couldn't. Nothing really came to my mind. How does one find it?
Oh,
Is
I
that
love
something
that.
you find?
You find that when you really think about it. Okay, so that's a really good question. I found it, well, I'm a Christian. I found it through my prayer. You have to take that moment really seriously, but you need to really sit down, close your eyes, think about the moment, and really 인정해야 돼요. 되게 인정해야 되고, the lowest point in your life, you're not used to, maybe you're uncomfortable with, just sit down, close your eyes, maybe write it down. I'm a writer, so just write it down, maybe you can draw, and then you step on it and you build that ground. You look back, you're like, wait, I came this far? And it's an amazing feeling. 그런 식으로 좀 샤인을 좀 내 스스로 self-love 주면 내 샤인을 좀 많이 보여주고 그 꽃 뿌리는 듯이 사람들 더 오고 더 people will say like, wow, why is she shining there? And she was so shy, now she's shining. That's the movie I want to create.
That's a very interesting concept. And I could see your heart, why and how you do it. So, yeah, thanks so much for that. I applaud you.
Thank you so much. I applaud you for creating this space for us, second generation, 1.5 generation. I mean, I'm very like thankful for meeting you and creating this whole space for us Korean Americans. Because without you, we cannot have a voice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you deserve a praise too.
Oh, thank you. I think we all do our parts, right? So, what is your purpose in one sentence?
My dream is very simple. I want every kid, especially the quiet ones, the shy ones, the culture in between ones like us, like me, to know that their story really matters, that their voice has power. I want to grow the Shy to Shine movement. and into something bigger. So I want to be a space, a community where families, educators, and kids to become together, to celebrate and grow in all forms. Because I mean, the shiny doesn't really look all the same. And if I could pick one word, it's a story within ourselves. So it's a story.
Show us your Carol the Carrot. Oh, that does look like you.
Which part, Min?
Oh, like the cute part. Oh my gosh, you are like a powerhouse woman. So I think I have one last question for you. If you were to give a message to a student, a young child, what would that be?
Grow strong, stay rooted.
So, Chelsea, give us some tips as parents or as teachers. What can we do to help our children break out of that shyness?
Well, I have several tips for you. We can celebrate small wins loudly. For example, we can do even your child only whisper in a class today or raise their hands for the first time in weeks. Let's just celebrate it. That's what I say. Say in the right moment, I'm so proud of you with the certainty. And another example is model confidence without forcing it. So don't force it.
It's hard.
So yes. And then children's mirror this, what they see. Again, they're sponges. We say we are sponges, but they're more like mirror. They reflect everything that you're doing. So if you speak confidence about yourself, and then last tip, create safe space to lead. So let your child lead something at home. So maybe a family story night, maybe a dinner menu, or even choosing the song on the drive to school. So does that make sense? So let them practice leadership in environments where failure is safe and celebrated.
Those are great tips.
Thank you.
Yeah, words of affirmation, mirroring the confidence, and create a safe place for them to lead with failure, to be okay to fail. Those are great tips. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for your insight on that. I want to cheer you on your journey and all the things that you're planning in your second book. Thank you,
It'll be so
Chelsea.
cool.
This was so much fun.
Thank you. I had so much fun.